Hey family, welcome to Phie.Love Intuitive Conversations. I hope you guys are good. If you like my content, please do like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, if there's any negativity, if there's any hate, please do keep that on your side of the street, okay? Won't be acknowledged. So, I've been guided by spirit in this video to get into a little bit of a talk about us being honest with ourselves, right? Taking the time when we have some time to sit and think alone and consider whether your outside world is in alignment with your inside world. What do you mean, Phie? What do you mean when you say is my outside world in alignment with my inside world? Well, you're out. Okay, I'm gonna take it from. Just take it back a little because my head is already in another space. The system programming has us. They've succeeded in brainwashing us, right, into believing that our life goals need to be intertwined with our survival needs as well as our emotional needs. And we don't ever really consider our mental needs as well either, right? But generally, if you really think about it, they've tricked us into believing that our life goals need to be intertwined with our survival needs and our emotional needs. When that happens, we then go through life believing that money needs to be the thing that makes everything work. And as long as we also believe that they succeed in, having us give in to the lack programming that I'm always talking about, which keep us then in their system outputting our energy and not, focusing our energy on what we're actually meant to have. How am I going to put this? Not focusing our energy on our inside and aligning our output with what we have going on inside. Instead, we've been layered with all the fear mongering, all the worries, and all the inadequacies, and feeling that, oh, shit, my life goals and my survival and my emotions, I'm only gonna be successful, or I'm gonna look like I'm successful according to the image that's been programmed to me of success, which is mainly focused around materialism, and however in a specific moment in time in your lifetime that success looks like, or has been programmed into you. That's what you're subconsciously trying to, manifest on your outside off of a lack mentality that's been programmed into you, while outputting all your energy at the same time into a system that will only, give you enough to survive and tell you to keep chasing something that isn't even completely aligned with who you are, but has been programmed into you to believe that that's who you need to be in order to feel like something, right? Each and every one of us, we have a purpose. We've come here to earth to create, to learn and create off of what we have learned and what we've experienced, and build off of that. But we're distracted and we're pulled away from that. So instead of aligning our outside to, our inside, which has been so polluted and layered with a whole bunch of gunk and nonsense, and us always feeling like we're not enough, we're incapable, or need to put our own capabilities onto or abilities, capabilities, onto someone else's abilities on the outside of ourselves, it messes with us actually, and we become normalized into that we don't even realize that our outside world isn't aligned with our inside world. We're so comfortable in a space of living in complete duality in that regard, even though duality exists in so many other areas of our lives. But let's stay focused over here where I am right now, okay? So if you finally get into a place in your life of wanting to create something, or wanting to figure out how can I start sort of pouring my energy into something other than my fixation on thinking or believing that my life goals need to be intertwined with my survival needs and my emotional needs as well. When you go into that space, are you paying attention to recognizing if you're being fueled by getting rich and achieving status? Or are you being fueled by a passion, by an idea, by a deep feeling, by an ambition, a dream, or something you yourself perceive might be a solution to a societal or a world problem? What's fueling you when you move into creation space, when you move into that space of wanting to break away? And when you're coming up with your ideas, when you're coming up with your solutions or with your plans to achieve these things, is the undertone of your end goal focused around a feeling of what you've been programmed to believe you need to look like and feel like, with a certain amount of purchasing power and is the undertone made up of the illusion that so many of us have, and some have had, of the feeling that you've been programmed to think you'll have with a certain idea of purchasing power and status? Or does the end goal within you look like, something you've built out of your own energy and your own mind, that'll take a life of its own and, be something that can consistently expand in the end? What is the end goal of your plans and your ambitions and your dreams? What do they look like and feel like? What are they driven by? Are they driven by service to self? Are they driven by, again, purchasing power? Or are they driven by how you can be of service to others and find your fulfillment within that? Because if the purchasing power and the status and the money or whatever it is, however that has been seeded into you to always have as an undertone in whatever it is that you engage your mind space in, or align to your idea of lack that you have or don't have but perceive you do have, what is that like inside? Do you take the time to sit and recognize all these layers of things that have been programmed into you that need to be shed so that you can actually create and produce and manifest from a place of alignment and clarity within yourself? Because in the end, you'll have amazing ideas, you'll have your ambitions, you'll have your dreams, you'll have your solutions to amazing solutions that you know are probably really needed in our world. to these to problems and issues, and helping make society exist on a higher vibration in space, and um, in a better way. But if it's not driven by that spark where the idea has come from and fizzles away, a few months into your creation process, because the purchasing power and the money was the was the underlying goal, because your programming and training and brainwashing into thinking that your life goals need to be intertwined into your survival and your emotional needs, and it ends up being a waste, because then it starts feeling like the money part of it is very difficult to achieve, and the other areas, which are the most important, especially in the beginning of your creation process, go to waste. So what is, where has the program led you into self-sabotage unconsciously? Where has the programming of purchasing power crippled you and hindered you and stolen your opportunities, maybe even in earlier times in your life, to engage in certain endeavors and projects and things, creations, because you've been made to believe that, the money is what's needed, and the resource you need is money to begin. The resource you need, and the resource you need and the end of what you're trying to create needs to be focused around, money, purchasing power. It needs to look a certain way that can only be achieved through money. You need to create this way and look like you look this way for creating something, and that can only be achieved by having the money to do it. Where has that, it's a limitation. It's a programmed limitation. And the one thing that they've made the hardest for people to obtain outside, or the one thing that they've programmed you to believe is the hardest to obtain outside of their own job systems, is the one thing they've programmed you to believe you need the most of to get off the ground or create or do something with your own inner juices and your own inner energy and amazing creative mind, because you all have one. It's just clogged up and polluted and layered with all kinds of things, and fear and doubt and worry and lack, and I don't have this, I don't have enough of that, I don't have the time, I don't this, I don't that. But if you take the time to be honest with yourself, get real with yourself, align yourself, cleanse and recognize where you can let go of certain ideas and programming and things that limit you, things that create stagnation and demotivation, if that's a real word. I gotta look it up. I don't know. It's sad, because there's so many out there who don't have the motivation because they feel that their life goal has to support their survival and their emotional needs, when really that isn't the case. We've just been made to believe that the normal thing is that your life needs to focus around a job, working for somebody. And that doing it on your own is only open and available, and creating and a life goal is only available to certain kinds of people, and that's just bullshit. So release where they fucked you over with mixing your life goals with your survival needs and your emotions, and find out how in your life you can take time to separate the three. Okay, separate the three and figure out how, you can make them all independently work for you without having to, have whatever you come up with in your mind be something that intertwines all of them together, because it doesn't have to be that way. And once you learn how to separate them, then you start, opening yourself up to the different kinds of scenarios and solutions that you could adjust your life to. Sure, if you've been stuck in one way for a long time, it might be a little bit uncomfortable to create the changes in the end, but if it's something you really want, we will make time, and we do what we need to do, right? And again, don't worry about what the outside world thinks. Sometimes when you regroup, you gotta take a couple steps, what might seem like a couple steps back, to regroup, realign, and release, add on. It'll manifest differently in everyone's life. But start taking the time to see where you can sort of take the initiative to step your mind outside of the societal or the system way that's been shown to you and that you exist in unconsciously and have become comfortable in. And have somehow also convinced yourself that you're free. But that's a whole other topic. Talking about freedom. And see where you can just, not be a disservice to yourself and your future. And not even see the fact that you might be a certain age as a limitation. Don't create unnecessary limitations for yourself. As long as you're alive, you can start at any time. Again, time is an illusion. What you're willing to change today, you have however many days ahead of you to make that your new reality. And if it's aligned with you and your purpose, and and driven by your own energy and your heart, and whatever drives you outside of what's programmed into you, you'll make it work. You will. But it's all a journey in the end, right? So I'm gonna pull a card. I hope that this video has resonated and got you thinking a little bit, and opened you up to other possibilities internally, specifically to you, that may encourage you to be more confident in making a change and recognizing where, you've been fucked over and led into self-sabotage. And make a change. I'll pull out of the Ascendant Masters deck. I've got it closest to me right now. Okay, Dorian Virtue. And see what Spirit has for us. I may get into this topic again in some way in the future, but let's leave it here for now. So let's see what Spirit has to support us in our conversation, in whatever it may be, or for whoever this video needs to resonate with. Okay, well, we got two. We've got flow of prosperity, and we've got coming out of the closet. So we'll see what the book has to say. I am going to actually only read on the flow of prosperity. And see what the book has to say. Okay, there we go. This card indicates that your prayers about finances have been heard and answered. Tap into your manifestation power by focusing on abundance instead of worrying about money. Look at that. It ties in perfectly. You have nothing to fear. A new flow of prosperity is supporting you and your loved ones. Additional meanings for this card. Stop worrying about money. Worries only attract money problems. That lack mentality that's been programmed into you. Everything's going to be okay, especially with respect to finances. Survival needs, right? You have the support to make a desired life change right now. Visualize and affirm prosperity. As I told you, Spirit is always with us and always with me, right? So don't only view prosperity as money. View prosperity as your ideas. View prosperity as, you still being alive today and being able to make another change. Being able to, do something differently. Being able to change your frame of mind and, move and align your life according to what is inside and not always outputting your energy towards what they've programmed into you, an image, an idea, or a distraction, or a fear, or an avoidance to engaging some sort of idea of shame that they've told you you would maybe subject yourself to if you did something a different way, right? There's abundance and prosperity in everything. And rest assured, when you start, decluttering and delayering yourself of all these ugly programs and things that they've put into us, and, all these, and start, separating and drawing the lines between everything that they've blurred and made you believe needs to tie into each other and isn't possible without money or without one or the other. It's a lot. But once you do the cleansing and once you start decluttering your insides and your mind and recognizing that, where something's been seeded into you that's actually not for your highest good, it definitely does make a difference with time. It does. So flow of prosperity, and whoever's busy with their projects, whoever's in their creation places, whoever's coming up with ideas or wanting to move into a new space, I wish you well and all the support. I hope you find all the support that you need. Okay, if you've come this far, please do hit the like button if you've resonated with my content, and I'll see you in the next video, family. Bye.